I'm looking at this Outer Worlds thing. This one's kind of strange to me. Anyways, let's kind of do a little, let's walk around the block a little bit, right? Let's see what is being said on these streets. Destin. Wow. That's good and surprising news. I talked about it in 2024 with Cromwell, who said $80 is going to reduce sales. I wonder if this helps prove that theory. Then Destin basically quote tweets the Outer Worlds Twitter account where they talked about they've received the SOS via Skip Drone about the pricing. And they've devoted to making sure that corporations do not go unfettered. We at the Earth Directive have worked with Redacted Darkfield to revise the price of the Outer Worlds too. While this will not bring peace to the galaxy or even your local colony, we assure you that we're here to fight for all the colonies in every way that we can. From the Office of the Director of Earth Directorate. Do you know who showed up on this tweet? At Cromwell. Do you know what he said? Do you even remember who this is? This is Very AFK, the one that was talking with Rafael Colantonio, the one that did Weird West. Do y'all remember this? Weird West, the game that was given away on Amazon Prime Gaming for free that I found in my Epic Games library? Weird West? Yeah. Both of them were talking about, how Game Pass was going to kill everything. Right? Oh, no. The elephant in the room. They didn't say Game Pass was going to kill everything. The elephant in the room, Weird West. Do you remember? Yeah. Bro pulled up. He said, as I've said many times, they want to price high to make Game Pass look like a better value proposition. But I'm sure their developers don't necessarily love that in an industry where sales figures are a big measure of success. You're sure that their developers don't want that? The developers of Xbox and Game Pass and that put their games on Game Pass? Who exactly? I'm not here to make any friends. I'm here to call accountability to the table to answer and help us realize where we may have gone wrong. Because as far as I remember, another publisher and their devs have recently done the exact same thing and U-turned on their price increase to their video games. In fact, theirs was actually worse because they put foot in mouth in their case. So this is IGN. Wesley Yinpo, Borderlands 4 boss Randy Pitchford, addresses real fans tweet controversy. It was not his intent. If you follow the update from when he said that, Borderlands has also made the move to revert their game back to $70. Xbox has done the same. Now, how is it because of Game Pass that they want to price high, or they're just following the market because Nintendo is going to run scot-free with it with their variable pricing on some of their games? Again, this thing doesn't sit right with me. And I just thought I'd point it out here because to me, it's kind of weird. Now, I am a huge critic of the price increase, but I'm also someone who loves to provide solutions, right? And for a game like this, if you want to pay the full price, by all means, but I don't ever recommend full price games. This is why I stopped doing reviews, right? I'm of the mind that you should play the game at whatever price point you, as the person who owns the money, choose to play the game. It's that simple. If it appeals to you to play for $70, pay $70. If it appeals to you to pay for $80, pay $80. If it appeals to you to pay nothing, pay nothing. Get a Game Pass trial, for crying out loud, if you can find one, and play the freaking game, whereby you pay nothing. That is your prerogative to go ahead and engage in. All of this talk about, it's because of this and it's because of that in an industry where sales are a blah, blah metric. Sales are not necessarily a realistic metric, right? When you put your game on a subscription service, that makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Does that make sense? Now, sales are nice and welcome, but you have to also put in context, where are the sales? Steam sales? PlayStation sales? There is no Game Pass on Steam. There is no Game Pass on PlayStation. And the game is launching on these platforms, right? So again, this is just all a mix and mash up of all what's going on, and is an oversimplification of what in the world people are even, trying to parse out here. In fact, when I looked at the responses, this one says people voted with their wallets. Pre-orders were probably not what they expected. Lots of complaints, hence lowering the price to normal for now. Good. That's what gamers should do. It's what they did to Randy and the boys over there at Gearbox. Combo. I think it will. People online are really easily manipulated. They will see this price drop and probably pre-order now when they wouldn't have before, because it's entered the 24-hour news cycle. Not saying millions will, but a lot for sure. This person said why they thought a game that should actually be priced at $20 would be a good candidate for their first $80 game. Microsoft games are a lower quality than the entire industry. Happy days, you think that. But we saw PlayStation gamers pay $100 for the Forza Horizon version. For the PlayStation version of Forza Horizon, we also saw them pay about the same for the Indiana Jones Special Edition version. Do you know how we knew? We saw that those two, versions of those titles were topping the pre-order charts. Yes, we didn't forget. You see, this is the kind of slander that goes on underneath that makes the Video Game Fight School channel constantly a video pumping outlet. It's this kind of stuff that pretty much brings in, the conversation starters and the views. You see that talk that they talk, it's just talk, ladies and gentlemen. It has no substance to it. It's noise. What's weird, though, is this guy from this particular Baldur's Gate 3 development studio is talking like this in an industry where the game that has basically brought them to the forefront of the conversation was one that gamers paid for while it was incomplete. Did you hear what I said? Cromwell, and I have nothing against early access, but let me call this out. Cromwell and his developers at Larian Studios for Baldur's Gate 3 sold early access versions of Baldur's Gate 3 for full $60 price point while the game wasn't complete. Gamers gave them money. Wow. Yet, when you can actually subscribe, you as the consumer, while you can subscribe, some of you are over here. You're over here running, talking. Some of us haven't forgotten, because it was the goodwill of gamers to buy an unfinished product. That's what early access is, in many cases, so that they would be able to get their game to a place where it was completed, because you know how funding is a witch. Right? And so somewhere, somehow, how can I take this kind of conversation seriously? Knowing what I know, you knowing what you know. You got to think about it. You got to think about it. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.